What is up, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to a special vlog video. First of all, I realized I haven't done a vlog video standing up in front of my counter here in quite some time, simply because basically since October my back has been shot, okay? Well, I'm happy to say that I'm not 100%, but my back is actually to the level where I can actually stand up when I do videos. Awesome. Yes, I know. Yeah, it would be frustrating standing up for 10 or 20 straight minutes talking and having my leg cramp up or something in the middle of a video. Well, it seems to be to a level where that's not going to happen anymore. And not to say that this video is going to be 20 minutes, it's not. It's going to be a short, to-the-point video, okay? So, the reason I'm making this video is because if you didn't see, last week I did a channel update where basically I announced I'm changing my mindset a little bit from the way that I've done things on my gaming channel, DSP Gaming, in regards to game selection, okay? In the past, I was kind of like, I had this feeling that no matter what, I had to play every single new game. Because if I didn't play every single new game, how would I know what's good and what's bad? But what ended up happening was a lot of the games that I played ended up being kind of boring, not good, new games, generic, you know. A lot of these games, the playthroughs, people said, wow, Phil, you know, we love your commentary, but the game just isn't entertaining to us, and therefore, you know, we're not interested in it. Why don't you do other stuff? But I pushed ahead for 2 years. I basically played every single new game possible, and I've come to a point where I'm mixing things up this year. I'm uploading less footage, and I'm playing more games, multiple games at the same time, and I've decided to do an adjustment. What I'm going to do is from now on, when there are new games that are coming out, as you can see, I have my release calendar behind me listing all the new games coming out in the next few months that I'm at least semi-interested in. I'm really just going to really think hard about what games do I really want to play. What game here is one that I really want to play, I think I'm really going to enjoy, it'll translate to an entertaining playthrough for people to watch, rather than me just play everything, okay? And the perfect example was last week. I bought Crysis 3, I played 10 parts of it, I absolutely hated the game, was bored as hell, thought it was a generic FPS, and to the point where I just didn't even want to play it right, and I started just running through everything because I was bored. And come to find out, most people who've played through the game that aren't mainstream reviewers have said the game's kind of average. It's pretty much a boring third-person shooter. There's nothing original whatsoever in the game at this point. It's more like, oh, look, for PC enthusiasts, you can get it and max out your graphics, and wow, the game looks great, but they really didn't care too much about gameplay. So there's a perfect example, a game that normally I would have played through. I stopped the playthrough, quit the game, and actually started playing Bully Scholarship Edition, which I'm getting overwhelmingly positive feedback about. People telling me it's one of the most refreshing playthroughs I've ever done, that the style of the game perfectly matches the style of my comedy and my commentary, and people are saying this is like the first game in a long time. A lot of people who don't watch full playthroughs are saying, we can't wait, we want to watch this whole playthrough. So, you see what I mean? I took a step back and I said, why am I going to play this generic first-person shooter game that I don't like when I could take a chance at a game that people have said is good, people have always wanted me to play, and I'm playing it and I'm personally loving it and the fans are loving it as well, okay? So the purpose of this video is to announce to you the games that are in the running to be played the next time when there's downtime, when there's no new releases, or maybe there's only one new release one week and I want to play the new release along with something else, that way I have two playthroughs going at the same time. This is where I'm going to announce all the games for it. And the way, just to explain how this works, it's not all retro replay games. Some of these games are games that are retro replay games that I've played in the past, but I didn't do playthroughs for YouTube. Some of them are that, but some of them are also games that I've just never had a chance to play, but people have been asking me to play, saying that they're great games, they think I could do really good playthroughs of them, okay? So without further ado, there's 9 candidates. And I'm going to go through them, and I want to explain to you the way that you can vote is in the description of this video. I've put a link to the voting on my forums, okay? This thread, this poll will be open and ongoing, just like the one was last time, which determined that Metal Gear Solid 4 would be the retro replay game that I was playing, which I'm playing right now. So that's how it works. You go to the link, you can vote. Now, just to tell everyone, before you vote, understand you can vote for multiple games. It's not just one game that you vote for. If you see out of the 9, there's 4 games there that you really want to see me play, you can check off all 4, okay? So there's multiple selections available. The poll right now, this is the first time I'm announcing it publicly. I didn't announce it on Twitter or anything. So right now it has very low votes. It's just basically forum goers, normal forum goers, but get over there and start voting, okay? The way I see it, this week I'm already booked. I'm doing Metal Gear Solid 4 and Bully, so I'm probably going to beat those this week. Next week, I'm going to be busy with Tomb Raider and Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm. Yes, that's right. I'm actually going to try that game out. I'm not saying I'm going to complete it, but I want to give it a shot and see if I like it, because I've never played one of those before. The week after that, we've got God of War Ascension and StarCraft II Heart of the Swarm, and I've really been thinking about it, and I'm not too sure. In fact, I've almost convinced myself that I don't feel like playing StarCraft II. The bottom line is, I'm not going to get into it enough where I'm going to play it online and be competitive, okay? I'm not going to do that. And I'll be honest, StarCraft II Wings of Liberty, the campaign that I played a few years back, I enjoyed it, but I thought it was a little bit too long-winded. It took a little bit too long to play the game, honestly. I was getting bored by the end of it. The campaign was so long. And I don't know, I think StarCraft is something that's kind of like, I don't know, it had its time in the 90s. It was huge and I loved it. But after playing Wings of Liberty, I'm not really like blown away, and I'm not really like dying to play Heart of the Swarm. And knowing that it's going to be an extremely long campaign, and the fact that most people don't even really care about the campaign, all they care about is the multiplayer, and I'm not really going to be focusing on that, I'm thinking I may skip it. So if that's the case, this poll may directly affect what game I end up playing that week alongside God of War Ascension. Now there are some other downtimes coming up in April, definitely, but also near the end of March, that last week, you've got BioShock Infinite, but there's two other games that I'm really not sure if I'm going to play. There's a new Army of Two game, which, as you know, I played the last one, I fucking hated it, so I don't think I'm even going to play the new Army of Two. And then there's a Walking Dead first-person shooter that, by all reports, people are saying is not very good. So I may or may not play that. Maybe that'll be another opportunity where I can play one of these games, okay? So, without further ado, let's go through the games that are available in the poll for me to play the next time that there's free time and I'm not totally, busy with newer games. So, first we're going to talk about retro replay games. So the first game that I'm not going to show you because I have it digitally is Spider-Man Web of Shadows. I'm going to probably keep putting this in the polls because this is the first game I ever really kind of did a semi-playthrough for on YouTube, and I really enjoyed the game, and I actually played half the game drunk, yeah I know, but I remember really enjoying this game, and I would really like to do a full playthrough of it. It's one of my highest viewed series of all time, okay? So I'm really interested in doing that. I'm putting that out there, but it's up to you. You have to vote if you want to see it, okay? So Spider-Man Web of Shadows is the first candidate. Hold on one second because I'm actually uploading Metal Gear Solid 4, and I have to select a custom thumbnail before YouTube bugs out and doesn't allow me to do it for 8 hours. Sorry about that. Alright, the next game up for Retro Replay is actually the game that came in number 2 in the votes for the last poll, so nearly made it, nearly won. It would have been the game that I played this week if more people had voted. Resident Evil, no, not Resident Evil 6 Anthology, but I'm just showing you as a placeholder, Resident Evil Director's Cut. I have the code from the Collector's Edition here, Anthology of Resident Evil 6. In fact, I've already downloaded it, it's on my PlayStation, it's ready to go. So Resident Evil Director's Cut is in the running. This is one that a lot of people asked me for, and I didn't have it last time, but I'm putting it in the running this time. Uncharted Drake's Fortune. That's right, Uncharted 1. Never played it on YouTube. In fact, this was one of the games, the first games I bought when I bought my PlayStation 3. It was about a year old at that point, and so I would love to replay that game. I actually remember the last stage of that game is really good, okay? Up next, another game I never did a full playthrough of. In fact, I only did one video of it, but I would really be interested in doing a full playthrough of Star Wars The Force Unleashed Part 1, which I feel is a far superior game to Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. It's longer, it's more fun, better abilities, better everything, okay? So those are the retro replay games in the running, those 4. But outside of those 4, there's also going to be 5 games that are in the running for the voting that are games that I've never played before, okay? So the first one we're going to start off with is one that a lot of people asked me for over the years, and I never did it. And then later on, I actually played a game that was a spin-off of the series, kind of a what-if scenario. And it was released in the States, and I played it, and people enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and people enjoyed the playthrough. I'm actually talking about Yakuza 4, okay? So this is the last official entry in the Yakuza series, and I never played it. It's kind of weird because I looked inside, and the code that apparently has bonus content for unlockable costumes and stuff is in here. I don't know if it's still good, but the code is still in here. So I may actually be able to unlock some additional stuff that normally you wouldn't be able to in Yakuza. So Yakuza 4, that's in the running, okay? Now in addition to Yakuza 4, over the past few years there have been a couple games, they're PlayStation 2 classics basically, games that have had re-releases and people asked me to play them when they were re-released, but at the time I was so busy with the new releases and other stuff that I never had a chance to do it. Well, this time I'm putting it in the running in the poll. So the first one that's in the running, Okami HD, meaning it's the one that they re-released Okami on PlayStation Network. That is in the running, okay? So that's number one. I know a lot of people, wow, already they're probably saying, wow, that's great. You know, Okami's a great game. We want to see full play. I've never played it. And quite honestly, I don't even know really what it's about. I've kind of stayed away from the Okami universe. I don't really know what the hell the game was about, so that could be interesting. Another one, another big one, that when it came out, when it was re-released, everyone wanted me to play it, but I just didn't have a chance at that point. Shadow of the Colossus HD. Another one, there's a collection right now, an HD collection, that I can get, if this wins the poll, I can go get this HD collection. I can play Shadow of the Colossus HD, okay? So, that's another one that's in the running for a playthrough. And then the last two are things you've already seen. It's actually stuff that I've already played partially, but not really, and you'll know what I mean once I show you. It is Grand Theft Auto 4's Episodes from Liberty City. Now, for those that don't know, there are two episodes. There's one that's called The Lost and Damned, following the Lost Biker Gang. And there's one called The Ballad of Gay Tony, that follows a gangster who works for this guy, Gay Tony, and his, saga and everything that goes on in Liberty City with him. Now, I haven't played either of them. I did play some of The Lost and Damned. If you remember correctly, way back in 2000, was it 2009? Yeah, 2009, my channel got partially copyright strikes against it for The Lost and Damned. Rockstar claimed copyright strikes. I later disputed them and they got cleared up, so was it really Rockstar? I have no idea. But I did a little bit of the playthrough of The Lost and Damned. I never did any of The Ballad of Gay Tony. So both of those are in the running, as well as not retro replay, but games that I can play. They're two completely separate games, by the way. So either one, you can vote for one, you can vote for both, whichever we want to see, you can vote on it, okay? So, let's review what's in the running to be played next by me when there's downtime. We've got retro replay games, starting with Spider-Man Web of Shadows, then Uncharted Drake's Fortune, then Resident Evil Director's Cut, and finally, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, okay, Part 1. And then for non-retro replay games, we've got Yakuza 4, we've got Okami HD, Shadow of the Colossus HD, and then last but not least, the two episodes from Liberty City, The Lost and Damned, and The Ballad of Gay Tony. So 9 really good options in my opinion. Like, the bottom line is I would love to play any of those 9 games. So it doesn't matter, whatever wins, I win. You know what I mean? So that's really cool. So get over there, go to the description of this video. In the description, there's a poll. Get to the poll, start voting. Let's see where this goes. And remember, you can vote for multiple things. So if any of those, if you like multiple ones, you can click all on the multiple ones you like and vote. I'm really excited to see how the polling goes this time around. Last time, it was pretty lopsided towards Metal Gear Solid 4, but now that that's already being played and it's out of the way, we need to get a new one. So, again, it's open, the poll's open as of right now. I'm figuring probably over the course of this week, probably the first week and a half to 2 weeks of March, into the time when God of War Ascension comes out, and probably it's going to start, I would assume it would probably start around that week if I don't do StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm, which it's looking like I may not do, okay? Alright, so that is it for this special vlog video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed me standing up for once. It's been quite a while, I know. And all these cool new things and attractions behind me I know that you may not have seen. So I know there's a lot of new additions here from the last time that I actually did one of these videos that you may or may not have seen if I didn't do an unboxing for it like I did for this guy. But there's some other things up here too, like the doctor and all kinds of stuff. I'm sorry, I call him the doctor, but he's really the medic. But yeah, alright, so that's it for the special vlog video. Get to voting. Go, go, go. Get over there. Start voting. I'll see you in the poll, and I can't wait to see what you guys pick. Peace.